Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the first Canyon Country Advisory Committee meeting of 2012. I want to make sure that everybody realizes that you can visit us at www.canyoncountryaadvisor.com. Remember that all of our presentations are videoed, and when you go to those, when you go to that website, if you missed a presentation that you want to see, the links to those presentations are available. Tonight, like for the last year and a half, we get to meet here because of the generosity of Mint Canyon Moose. So they supply us with this room at no charge, and we're going to try and do our very, very best to continue holding these meetings and being able to do that for you as a public service. And we do it in a large part because of the generosity of the Mint Canyon Moose Lodge. So inside the lodge, there's a kitchen, a stage, a bar area, activities room. It's available to Moose members and guests. And if any of you like, I'll give you a tour after the meeting is over. Tonight's meeting agenda, we'll start off with a flag salute. We always go through announcements. The way we work it, on the last-minute meeting reminder, I send out minutes of the last meeting, and we just take comments or approve them as read or approve them as sent. Then the first major item that we're going to talk about tonight is the CMEX Megamine that's scheduled or that is being planned in Canyon Country. And Andy Freed is going to be here to tell us exactly what's going on and what we might be able to do. Next, we'll talk about the Southern California Edison Smart Meter Program. Anna Fruchos Sanchez is here as she's a director of SCE, and she'll talk to us about the program, what it entails, and what we can expect in the future. Then I'd like to really talk to you about what's the latest on the chloride issue. That's probably the issue that's going to help lighten your pocketbook more than anything else going on here in Santa Clarita, and we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you exactly where that stands. Then we're going to talk about a project that was suggested by our Board of Directors, President Rick Drew, as a way to eliminate blight here in Canyon Country, or all over the city for that matter. So it has to do with yard sale signs that get put up and then not taken down, and so we have a plan as to how we can ask people nicely and remind them to take their signs down. Lastly, for tonight, we'll go through the process that we're going to use at the next meeting, at the February 15th meeting, where we're going to have all 5 city council candidates. When we get to part of that discussion, I'll introduce all of the candidates that are here this evening. But you need to help us in this meet and greet process, because questions that are going to be asked of them are going to come from the audience. And we want to make sure that you're ready to participate and make this a very, very informative meeting. Then we have our version of public participation. We allow 5 people 1 minute to say whatever they like. Unfortunately, we're not like the City Council. We can't stay here till 2 in the morning. We've got to leave at the right time, so we limit that quite a bit. We'll take Canyon Country Advisory Committee officers' nominations. We elect officers every year to make sure that we're doing what you want us to do. And we'll have a February meeting preview, and then the meeting will be adjourned. So for tonight, Mr. Natoli, let's see now.
Stand, please. Recite the pledge of allegiance to me. Those in uniform, right hand salute. All others, your hand open hearted. And I begin with, I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
As far as announcements are concerned, I'm sure that many of you have seen this in the newspaper and heard people talk about it, and that is the elimination of redevelopment agencies by the state. that there was a court case, and the court has now upheld a decision to eliminate redevelopment agencies and struck down the bill that would have allowed the agencies to operate in a pay-to-play environment. What happens here is that tax increases caused by redevelopments in a redevelopment agencies are returned to the agency to pay for the redevelopment. Items that are in process as of today will continue, but if redevelopment agencies are disbanded, then there will be no future activities, or at least being able to be accomplished by that payment mechanism. So maybe in the future we'll go through and we'll talk about this some more, because it's a very complicated issue. But as of right now, you're probably going to hear about that those agencies have been disbanded, and there more than likely will not be any new major projects in Newhall as a part of the redevelopment agency. The Canyon Country Community Center is something we talked about all last year. And 2 years ago, Rick Gould came to our meeting and said, you know what, we're looking for a location for a community center in Canyon Country, and it's going to cost about $20,000, and we want to see what's going to happen. And then 2 months later, they said, well, sorry, we don't have enough money to go do this. At the May 5th Joint Budget Subcommittee meeting, I attended and asked about that particular project, and the response from Mr. Polskamp was, this project is nowhere, and indicated that the city didn't have money either to build or to staff a community center. So we were very pleasantly surprised that on the December 13th City Council agenda, item 7, included $311,000 for a new community center in Canyon Country. A community center in Canyon Country was previously planned, and it indicated that staff has identified a leasable space. So one would think it's an imminent type of activity. Well, you know, when things are really good, it's a good thing to go and talk to the city and say, we really like what you did. I don't expect you to read this eye chart, and I'm not going to read it to you either, but I'm going to send it to you as a part of the minutes. And it is a letter to Mayor McLean and the council members. I wrote it, sent it to them, supporting the agenda item on December 13th, and telling them that we really appreciate that type of an activity. So the only part I wanted to say is that we said, what great news, I can state unequivocally for myself and members of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee that we wholeheartedly support and welcome that effort. And I think that we all truly did. So when someone makes us a promise, you want to follow up. So I sent back a letter. Oh, and by the way, I did get back a response from Ken, who said thank you for your support. And so a few weeks later, I sent him a letter, and I said, I want to again thank you. Now that the funding has been approved, the obvious question becomes, where is the community center plan to be located, and when will we start to actively see putting the center into operation? Sounds reasonable to me. And the answer that I got back was, we are currently exploring several property options. We hope to begin services this summer. We anticipate some outreach to the various communities over the next few months. So I'm still guardedly optimistic. But I'm going to take that old Ronald Reagan philosophy and trust but verify. So, but by in the February meeting, we'll be totally involved with city council candidates. I'll give you a good status of where the outreach is in March. Agenda item 9 on the city council calendar for January the 10th was a request to amend the Newhall specific plan. And basically what it was is, it's a group of code changes to give business owners on Main Street the ability to do certain things they couldn't do before. Display merchandise on on the sidewalk, put up some additional signs, and this all occurs whenever Main Street is closed through traffic. But one of the items that concerned me, and I had a discussion with a member of the Old Town Newhall Association a couple of days ago, is the idea of non-conforming uses. And one of the things that became non-conforming use was auto repair. Auto repair was big in downtown Newhall. It's shrinking because the city is trying to eliminate it. And so you might have read that in one case they purchased a corner of Main Street and paid a gentleman to move his business out of the building that they purchased. And so what the gentleman did was he moved across the street to another facility. And you might imagine they were not happy. Now, so what this does is, what they're attempting to do now, bundled up with these other items, is to terminate the legal nonconforming use if the use ceases for a period of more than 60 days. So that means that if that particular building goes vacant for more than 60 days, they would no longer be able to use it for automotive purposes. And what it also says, and at the same time now, remember we started out by saying redevelopment agencies are going away. So here in this economy, and I plan to go to the council and speak on it when the second reading of the ordinance occurs at the next meeting. So when that ordinance goes away, this is a property rights issue. And with the economy the way it is, and with the idea that that redevelopment agencies are being disbanded and there will not be any large purchases in Newhall for a while, this might backfire. And what might happen is an automotive use leaves. You don't get a new tenant in 60 days. The property owner can't afford to upgrade the facility so that it could be used for another use, and it sits vacant for some period of time. And anybody here who lives in Canyon Country remembers when that exact scenario occurred to the Texaco station on Soledad. And it sat vacant with a chain link fence around it for 10 years. So with the position we're in now, I'm going to ask them to reconsider that particular part of that piece of legislation. Planning Commission vacancy, you probably heard, Santa Clarita is looking for a new planning commissioner. This current commissioner, Bill Kennedy, who was Bob Keller's nominee, has retired again and is moving out of the city. He retires a lot. He retires from one job to another to another. No, he's a good guy. Anyway, applicants must be 18 years or older, maintain their primary residence in the city, and be available to, work weekends and include 3 letters of recommendation. So if you want to become a planning commissioner, you can submit an application at the city clerk's office, and it must be done by February the 8th. There's also a meeting being taken place. City of Santa Clarita is encouraging residents and local business owners to attend a community needs assessment meeting at 7 p.m. Wednesday, January the 25th at City Hall Century Room, located at City Hall. And what they're going to be talking about is a discussion of low-income residents and areas of affordable housing, infrastructure, and supportive services. So this is another discussion of where they can accommodate low-income housing. And if you're interested in that, you can either submit comments or go online and do a survey or go to the meeting. And again, this will be in your package so you'll know exactly when it occurs. The city is also hosting their 7th annual Culture Night for the Newhall community at the Newhall Community Center at 5 o'clock on Friday, January the 20th. By the way, how many people here know where the Newhall Community Center is? Yeah, that's interesting because, I ask that question a lot and people don't know. Anyway, does everybody know where the Newhall Railroad Station is? Right? Okay. So if you're looking at the train station and you continue across the train tracks on the other side, that's where the community center is. And the event is going to be hosted to communicate the importance of tolerance and talk about different cultures. And again, it's going to be at 5 p.m. on Friday on January the 20th. A little bit about a city department reorganization. Paul Brotzman is, I think, finally retired. And Robert Newman will be assuming the position of Director of Community Development in addition to Public Works. So right now, he's the Director of Public Works. He will now have, in addition to that, planning and code enforcement. I'm going to meet with him next week. We're going to have a little chat. I know Robert. I like him. He's a really straight shooter, and so we'll see exactly what happens from now on. Whoops. 2 city council seats are open, currently held by Lori Ander and Bob Keller, and they're going to be decided on the April 10th election. We have 5 candidates qualified on the ballot. And Tim Ben Boyson is here. I saw him walk in. There he is. You want to try to get that around there? Let's see. Well, maybe not. All right. Ed Colley is also here. Here's Ed. I didn't see Lori, but John Hatami is here. There's John. And Bob Keller, who I believe is not here. Now, these names, I continue to read in this order because it's alphabetical. So that's, people ask me, why are you doing it that way? Because it's alphabetical. All right, several organizations have planned events for the public to gain an understanding of the candidates' positions. And please make every effort to attend them and then vote on April the 10th for the candidate of your choice. The first is going to be a meet and greet by the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce. That forum is scheduled for 11:45 on February the 9th at the Hyatt Regency in Valencia. It's part of the Chamber's monthly luncheon. It'll include some short speeches by the candidates and a question and answer portion. Tickets are $35 in advance or $40 at the door. And so that will be the first event. The next event is going to be ours. It's the Canyon Country Advisory Committee, City of Santa Clarita Meet and Greet. It'll be held at the February meeting on February the 15th, right here in Mint Canyon Banquet Room at 7 p.m. All 5 candidates have agreed to participate. The event is open to the public, and there is no charge for attendance. So tell all your friends. Let's pack this room on the 15th and hear from our city council candidates. Next, there's also going to be a city council forum. I'm going to be emailing you out more information about this. It's going to take place on March the 7th. And as I understand it, all 5 candidates have agreed to participate in that also. The Signal and K-Hits will also be hosting some form of a city council candidate event. As I understand it right now, the date and location have yet to be determined. So we're going to keep you posted. But you know when those first 2 events are, so let's get moving. Looking at our attendance statistics like we always do, you can see that as we moved, our attendance went down a little, but at the same time, as they've been bouncing around a little over 40 people a meeting, we started putting things on video. And as we put things on video, we're starting to look at those numbers start to come up. For some reason there in April, everybody was interested in coyotes. So I have no idea. And those are the 4-legged kind of coyotes. I don't know why. But for the rest of it, it's starting to come up. The blue line is the line where people watch it the first month. The red is when they continue to watch it afterwards. So they are starting to come up. And so if you add the 2 together, which we're going to start doing and showing you on the same chart, you can see that we're reaching more people, and that's really a good thing. The video statistics are interesting because YouTube changed their process, so they gave me some more statistics, and I thought that was very interesting. We have a total of 91 videos online. They didn't all come this year because we've been posting videos online since 2006 for different things. But the total number of views for our 91 videos is 4,212. And for the number of videos that we posted in 2011, we had 1,491 views. Now, the demographics of that is 76% male and 24% female. So I've got something to say to you ladies out there. Go talk to your friends. You can't let the guys outdo you like this. Okay? And the majority of our viewers are over 35. Again, the presentations are on YouTube, and please tell your friends. And if you miss a meeting, you can watch a presentation that way.